Hello, everybody. Reggie Time here, and we're going to play approximately 45 minutes of 25NL on GG Poker. Um, I talked about on Monday's video, sorry, that I think this is a pretty reg unfriendly site. And now today we're going to talk about ways to mitigate that a little bit. And I've done this by trying to game select as well as I can from the lobby, not by players who I think are winning or losing, just by avoiding as far as possible players from Eastern Europe, i.e., Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Estonia, Kazakhstan, etc. I think they're the typically the locations, like the Euro locations, where they make the games the fucking worst. Um, so we're not. I mean, they're not completely avoidable, but we're just not going to sit with, say, two Russians, a fucking Belarusian and a Ukrainian. I'd rather put my fucking head in a fire than do that. King Queen off from the big blind. I think we're going to squeeze this one up. Going to check call this ace jack, but not be happy about it versus that small bet. And if tables get bad, if we end up where it's just like here, we've got Russia, sit out. If this is Russia coming, then we're just leaving. Just going to keep calling here, not loving it with the ace jack. Versus 4-bet, we have a trivial fold. Ran into the aces, not folding here. Our hand's just too strong to fold. And we beat the ace-9 offsuit. Happy days. So yeah, we're going to monitor our tables here. We just got Euro. We've got a Chinese green tag player join, so we'll stay for now. So we're going to be trying hard to monitor tables and getting off them when they're just bad in terms of locations of players. Here we've been 3-bet by a Ukrainian player with what appears to be a very low VPIP and not a full stack, so we're just going to fold. Yeah, no interest in playing players from countries with relatively shit economies with a higher than average chance that they're going to be cheating in some way and just ruin win rates. Not interested. Not fucking interested in the slightest. This ace 3 off. Don't want to continue, but this 3-bet's just clearly way too small. And now we're just going to try and navigate to showdown as cheaply as possible. Versus that size. I mean, I'm very nervous that this guy's just got super premium with this small 3-bet pre. Let's start folding this turn versus bets, I think, with the ace 3. No heart. And I think just check fold river. And he just randomly had pocket nines. So that's the first thing I've wanted to get off my chest for players who follow my channel and then just routinely get beaten up in games on major sites, mainstream sites. Just game select more diligently as best you can without getting picked up on as some kind of fucking bum hunter. Now, don't target individual players because that's what will get you picked up. But just be diligent with the locations that you're willing to play against most often. So this table here, we've got China. Probably a good table. Up here we've got no idea, but it's not Russia. No idea, but it's not Russia. I think that's Poland. That's another Eastern European and Britain. Fine. Then this table we've got China. I think that might be Norway, or I'm not sure. This table down here might not be too great. It's pretty much all Euros except one Chinese player. So maybe this table isn't brilliant, and we're going to just continually flick tables in and out based on what VPIPs we see at the tables, what locations players are from, and just how the game appears to be playing in general. Easy called 4-bet here with the queens, and then just get it in. this table looking good? It is. So we'll keep it and get rid of one. And maybe this is the one we get rid of. Yeah. So we'll play our button and just close and then get back to 4 tabling. I don't really care about playing my free hands, etc. It's a bad hand. So we'll just leave. Tile the tables again and keep going. And now I get that like continually chopping tables in and out is a ball ache. It's something that would definitely test my patience too if I was grinding these games daily. But I just think it's a key skill and a key component to have. Defender 4-3 suited here. Break. We're absolute stone bottom of range here, but we don't draw to. We just have better 0 showdown value hands to bluff with here than the 4-3 in terms of like them improving. Checks, but I'm just gonna like literally just bet 3x fucking pot here. I think he's just trying to get to showdown with a hand like ace high, and maybe he still fucking calls, but I'm just gonna do a fuck you 3x pot. If he wants to call this with ace high or what have you, then good for him. Another thing I want to talk about today, given that in Monday's video I talked about like massively simplifying my game, rolling my strategy back to a strategy that was really effective 8+ years ago, is the current state of content creation, be it on Twitch, more talking to YouTube, etc. There's lots of content creators that are very good at what they do, which is creating content, getting views, and selling a product. But I don't know how useful a lot of that is to anyone outside of like hyper serious players who really want to study incredibly hard. I think a lot of the content being created at the moment is overly complex, and I don't know if that is because we'll get back to this in a moment because we've got this ace queen that we want to see bet on a very wet board. Probably could just check that back. I don't know if it's part of it will be because they need to look really clever in order to sell their product. Part of it will be because they just genuinely believe that whatever shite it is they are spouting is the best approach to beat the games. I don't know, but I just think it's really annoying at the moment. There's like several content creators out there that you can just tell they are just so high of themselves and full of themselves and excessively arrogant and cocky and who knows what else. The sort of people who, when they have a wank, they look at themselves in the mirror and they're pulling faces, they're pouting at themselves. They're taking an excessively long time to finish their wank because they're enjoying looking at themselves doing it so much. Just some like relatively slimy and annoying characters out there, frankly, who I just fucking don't like. It's hard to argue with what they're saying from a theoretical standpoint, but what they are actually saying and trying to teach and trying to encourage people to do is just remarkably hard to execute, incredibly easy to fuck up, incredibly easy to misunderstand, and they're giving you it in like quite small, short doses without enough backup and support for you to get good at executing what they execute, and that's because they want to drive you to their product and spend lots of money on then making improvements that for the vast majority of players will not improve them to be winning players. I think it's a very, very dicey environment, and I don't fucking like it, to be honest. At least when I was offering coaching, it was just cheap, cheerful, basic advice that brought legitimate improvement in players. Didn't turn everyone into a winning player, but definitely significantly reduced a lot of players' loss rates, and in my opinion, maybe even more importantly, increased their enjoyment of their hobby and their pastime. That isn't there anymore. I'm not going to name names. You'll probably be able to guess who I'm talking about if you're in the YouTube streets. Um, but I actually think that one of the better content creators out there at the moment is uh, Hungry Horse, Mark Goon. He just like, this is how you play against bad players, and most of us are fucking bad players. This is how you play against bad players. Too many content creators out there now are showing how clever they are, how well they interpret it, how well they interpret the machine, how well they execute, and how well they like learn from the machine and refine their strategies. And then they're still playing in games that can't be beat for more than one big blind or two big blinds or what have you. Then and a lot of them barely play outside of content creation because they don't want to fucking play because they're not winning players or they're barely winning players or the strategy they're trying to execute is just no fucking fun. They're basically a lot of them are just fucking charlatans, frankly, and it's annoying me. I'm trying to wean myself off a lot of poker content. I love Hungry Horse. I enjoy watching Gary Blackwood's vlogs. I love the Triton stuff, the Poker Go stuff, but people selling coaching these days and spamming their probably quite shitty products. I'm just trying to really wean myself off them because, frankly, I think they do more harm than good. And I think a lot of the stuff they do is incredibly insincere and disingenuous. So, yeah, I think finding people who trying to teach more simplified strategies, not trying to make things overly complicated in order to make themselves look really fucking clever. Um, they're the ones, in my opinion, for recreational players who are you're going to get the most useful advice from and the most useful help from. We're going to continue betting our gut shot here and take it down. Yeah, I'd rather watch someone like Hungry Horse who keeps things really basic, really simple, and high energy than watch some of the other content creators uh, who take like, literally 10, 15 minutes reviewing a hand about all the things they could, should, and might do. And then by the time you get to the end of it, there's been too much information. You haven't retained most of it, but they're telling you how shit you are for not doing certain things. It's just fucking rubbish. It's not nice. And yeah, I'm trying to. I might just unsubscribe from a lot of them actually, so I just don't get their content anymore because I don't think it's very good. We've been 3-bet here by a very tight player over a small sample. Ace Queen's clearly too good to fold. Here we're going to see bet our King Queen. We flopped top two pairs here on the bottom left table. My cursor didn't show my last video. Maybe it isn't showing here, so I need to be more careful about like what I'm showing. I think we're just going to jam here, get value from Ace King, etc. I think when he goes for this big bet on this board, yeah, he's going to have aces and queens too, but we're going to go broke versus them anyway. I want to get stacks in versus Ace King and any like maybe Ace Jack, etc. And if we're cooler than we beat, we're cooler than we beat. This might be a bit of an overplay. We're probably not meant to raise versus a large C bet there. But I'm just going to target top of range and try and get the max value from that as quickly as possible. And if they're bluffing for that size, then never mind. I think like tailoring your ranges to keep the bottom of people's ranges in the pot, the micro stakes, is a mistake. You know, you just get good hands, just fucking fast play them. So many, in my opinion, shitty thought processes. Why have I gone 2.2? I didn't realize I had a 2.2 fucking open even still. I don't know why it's gone to 2.2 because we shouldn't be. It's not on there. Maybe I just like fucking clicked the wrong thing. Who knows? I might just rip this Ace King versus this small. Just try and capitalize on what little fold equity we might have or what fold equity we have. versus a Chinese player who's not a full stack. Just try and win what's in there now. Get called by a worse hand. Happy days. Got to run it twice. That's fine by me, brother. He hits the first one, which is unfortunate. And we win the second one. We hold on the second. That'll do. Yeah, I think so many, like, not bad thought processes, but thought processes I couldn't get through quickly enough, and concepts that I didn't execute very well crept into my game, and it made me a significantly worse player. And on top of that, massively reduced my pleasure from playing poker. Massively reduced it. And that's what a lot of these content creators are doing. They're actually making the space worse, not better. Significantly worse. Because they're just like educating quite a large chunk of people to approach poker in a way that isn't especially profitable and really isn't an awful lot of fun as a casual player, which most of us are. You know, if you're playing 15 or lower and it is not your job, then you're a casual player, and actually enjoying the game is almost as important as making money. And I think a lot of these content creators are fucking ruining that for a whole generation of players, and it's just a huge shame. I'm not going to be able to change anything from my shitty little channel that averages 200 views. But for my loyal viewers, I want to offer a place of sanctuary from a lot of the shit that gets spouted in the YouTube/Twitch spaces these days. Not saying everything they teach is bad, because theoretically it definitely isn't. But from a casual poker player perspective, I think a lot of it is fucking awful. Again, I'm just going to fast play. If we're cooler, we're cooler. Nothing much we can do about it. I want more money to put. I want draws to put more money in here. I want worse queens to put more money in here. I don't want to just like call and then leave me at the mercy of them, like checking back pot control and turns, etc. And yeah, fine, he was probably bluffing again there, but I'm not going to tailor my lines to keep like low frequency bottom of range stuff in. Just not going to do it. Is it theoretically correct? No. Are the things I do going to be in there at a frequency? Some of the time, maybe a lot of the time. Am I going to be doing them as pure actions when they should be mixed? Yep. Do I give a fuck about that? Nope. We're just going to be real. We're just going to be real here on Reggie Time Poker. Can we raise our trips here? I think we can get called by a king. Just make a smallish raise. Versus this block size. Get the 4, but never mind. While I was ranting, I haven't really monitored our tables. Here's still fine. We've got 3 non-euros, 2 euros. Up here we've got, yeah, this one looks fine too. This one looks fine, and this one looks fine. Now, so if I was to recommend somebody, again, I'll mention him again. Hungry Horse, Mark Goon. Absolutely love his content, and he's all about exploiting bad players, which I think is far more useful content for casual recreational players than it than a lot of the other content from some of the more popular YouTubers. I also love watching the Solve for Why podcast. Half of that, if not more, is not even poker related, but I just enjoy the show. And like I say, I'm going to be stopping playing soon, stopping this video soon. It's currently 10 to 12, 5 to 12. I'm going to watch the Triton content. I'm just really sick to death of listening to people, frankly, boring the fucking tits off me with solver-based tedium. And are some people who watch this who are into that going to think, fucking hell, Reg, you're a fucking caveman? Blah, 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 blah. You're never going to get better at poker, etc. Yeah, to an extent, you're probably right. But you're not my target audience. So if you did want to fuck off, it would have no material impact in my life whatsoever. Interesting. We went for like a bet check bet line here with top pair that turned into second pair. We get check raised on the river. This is going to be massively under bluffed. And we have a bluff catcher, so we just have an easy fold. Should probably start tagging these Asian players who look like they might be fun, just to help game selection in the longer term. Even though I'm not planning to put a huge amount of volume in a GG, I am hoping to make some more weekly content that isn't app based, and that's the first time I mentioned the app today, which is a good indication of my sincerity in what I am saying. And this player is clearly, he's got an avatar of Chris Moneymaker. He's from, I think, is that Korea, Cyprus, and he's not playing a full stack. So it's just easier. I'd not bothered about having fucking regs tagged, although it's probably useful to have the Chinese regs tagged so we can differentiate between them in lobbies. Second pair here on a board I expect to be range better at very high frequency. Checks back. Our hand is still a category 2 type hand. Probably not super strong category 2 because of how low our pair is. I think versus check, 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 it's versus check, check. If we just bet the river, we just call. Because it's just going to have too much like shit in the range. It's check back twice and then stabs river. What time does Triton normally start? It's 5 to 12. No, about half 12, isn't it? So it's probably going to be about right if I stop playing at 12:30. Going to set mine the button here with the fives. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it's absolutely my cup of tea. And you get these like 13 VPIP Ukrainians. They can just be tagged as like, don't want to play with you because you're boring. Again, just helps from the lobby. Like, who don't you want to play with? Boring bastards with 13 VPIPs from shithole countries, basically. I think I just want to bet big here and then shove turn. The Queen 10 versus very obviously recreational player. It's quite important that we grow the pot quickly there before he either improves past it or the board gets so scary he can't put any more money in. I wanted to play a 2-street game. Your man folded, and that's fine. Look at me staggering off the 13 VPIP when I'm rocking a 15 and a 16 myself. What a fucking fat hypocrite I am. Jack 10 suited here versus someone playing evidently way too loose. I think this guy a Chinese, but he's not a Chinese rec. Well, he probably is a rec playing that type, but not like the sort of Chinese player I'm looking to play with. I think we're just going to come along for a call here. multi-way versus a Maniacs Open 210. Maybe we could 3-bet, but I just think against these types we just don't get that much fold equity pre-flop. So if the fold equity isn't really existing as much as you'd like it to, then maybe calling's better. To play a snap called our 3-bet and we've got a pretty bad flop. Not going to see bet a hand that's got just performed so poorly versus calling ranges. When this player 13V pip bets multi-way, just not happy. We do have a straight draw though, so we can't fold, but I'd be unlikely to put any more money in unimproved. Is King Queen? I'm going to go with a small bet. Calls 5 is not a turn card I want to barrel. Look at that. Ace King didn't 3-bet versus the 53V pip. Only got one street of value post flop. Marvelous. Not barreling this 5. I think it's a bad card to barrel on. And I think our line just lacks complete credibility here. If we try and bluff, we would continue betting our overpairs and our 10x on the turn. Do I think we can get ace high to fold? Maybe. Do I think we get any pair to fold? No, I think it's a pretty low fold equity spot. I'm just going to give up. Yeah, that's one of the hands that we maybe could have got to fold. But again, I'm just not going to lose sleep over like little spots like that, which fine, maybe bluffing there is slightly higher EV than checking, and I missed it. Big fucking deal. Not here pretending to play perfectly, not here pretending that I can play perfectly. I'm just here trying to play in games against people who hopefully make a few more mistakes than me enough of the time in order to make the rake beatable for me. That's what I'm here doing and trying to do. Complete the call the min open with the queen jack off. Multi-way, probably not great, probably not making much money, but probably not losing much either. This player doesn't appear to fold to 3-bets. We're going to go with a big squeeze. Easy call with the queen jack to begin with. Not loving the fact the ace has come. Even though we have a gut shot here, we're just going to check fold to this turn bet versus someone rocking a 17V pip. We're going to check back this, not because I think we've definitely got the worst hand, but we don't have a 3-street hand. Maybe this player starts probing at some point quite wide. I think we can only really get one street here. I'm going to try and get that street on the river. Not too worried about a club coming. I don't think it's too thin to go with like half pot here. I think we can just get called by a lot of one pair type holdings. Again, we're not here trying to play perfectly. I beat myself up so much for such a long time because of mistakes I made. And we all do it. We all do it. Learn from them. Maybe go back and review some of them. But I'd just take them so personally in game. I get so annoyed by them, and it would affect my enjoyment of playing. It would affect how I played for the rest of the session. I just caring a lot less. I've got nothing to shield, nothing to spam, nothing to sell. I'm not trying to sell coaching. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to make videos that just reflect who I am as a person, who I am as a player. And just warts and all, just accept, right, okay, Reg, you're not fucking perfect. But neither is anybody else. I think this is close between call and fold. I think button versus cut off. Calling. I think from early positions, probably just folding. Get a really bad flop. even if we have the best hand here, we're just not going to realise our equity very well, and we're just going to fold. If you pretty much just breathe on the pot, we're just going to fold without a spade, because there's just nothing much we can do there. It's just a really good situation for button, given that we've got such a weak holding. They could well be like over bluffing there, etc. There's still nothing much we can do about it when we've got 7-7 no spade in a 3-bet pot out of position on king high mono. And rather than try and think really hard about ways we can maybe do something about what he's doing, just be like, it's just a bad situation. Get out of there. Again, we're going to expect to squeeze here and get called at least by this player. This Zhao Peter. Calling from the cutoff with pocket nines. That's not a thing. Doing it anyway. Flopping top set. Squeezing up the ace king. Checking the ace queen. Calling the nines. Range betting the kings. Still checking the ace queen. Calling the nines because we've improved to a straight draw. Value betting the ace queen. Check raise or bet here. And I think I'm going to go for a check raise with a pretty much invincible hand. Or maybe just check call depending on sizing. He does check back. Is that ace queen good? Yes, it is. We've rubbed a straight here, but it's a bottom end of it. We're just going to check our showdown value. Guy check the nuts. Good for him. I think I'm going to go with overbet here with the kings and just try and get called by all these bluff catchers, pocket tens, pocket jacks, etc. We get caught, we get folded, never mind. Checking back the nines. Can I get 2 streets from nines here versus a very recreational player? I think we're just going to continue checking. I almost promoted our nines there to category 1. Now betting high pot on the river. We only beat bluffs. But it's a 73 VP. 70 VP has a lot of like air to bluff from here. Yeah, are we going to run into an ace? Yeah, probably. But there's a lot of air to bluff from. We don't need to win very often to make this call. And we beat 5 deuce. I've enjoyed myself making this video more than I've enjoyed making a lot of videos earlier this year. I'm hoping some of my regular viewers who aren't super nerdy are enjoying the more laid back content too. Ace queen suited bottom right table. We will be volunteering chips into the pot. It's going to be linear here. We're meant to be polar from the big blind. I'm just not going to be. It's going to be linear. Again, I'd rather bluff with a hand that has a chance to improve and win. Just giving up with the 7-6 off. Storm bottom of range. Very much doubt. What does this helmet thing mean, by the way? If anyone could tell me, still watching, what this like shield thing over this player's avatar is, I'd like to know. Yeah, and again, he wouldn't have folded that hand. Maybe if we double barrel, he does, but it seems unlikely. Again, even if we have missed a bluff there and lost out on a sliver of EV, I really, really don't fucking care. So now we've got this guy with confirmed nit, who we don't want to play with. He's got the Chinese avatar, so we'll mark him as a Chinese player we're not especially keen to play against. Would this likely be another one? Probably. This one's one we're very likely to want to play with because they're not full stacking. $16.11. No, thank you, sir. I'm going to go for the ISO with the 6-5 suited. That's too small, Reg. Never mind. No big deal. Not going to matter very much. Do get called flop bottom pair. Our hand would be a very weak category 3 semi-bluff with its like 2 pair draws and trips draws. It's also bottom of category 2, so we're just going to check it. We have turned 2 pairs, which is nice. And now we're just going to go with big bets and just target his 1 pair holdings, draws, etc. So this table now is terrible except for this guy. I mean, look at this guy with his 17/16. This is a bad table now except for that 1 player. Player from Finland who's so far got a 2% 3-bet. I think cutoff versus small blind. We're still looking to get this in though, and just deal with it when we lose. We do take it down, and we're happy about that. Jack 10, no diamonds or spades, so we're not going to c-bet. We maybe do some delay c-betting. Ace, queen off, Easy check. Now, do we want to start betting to get folds from hands like pocket sixes? I think we probably have to bet twice if we do. We're going to go with this, and then we're going to bet the river. I think like Jack X bets flop, 10x doesn't bet the flop, does call a turn. We also have the ace of hearts here. And I'm tempted to go for a check raise. I'm concerned he'll just check back pocket sevens. So I'm either going to overbet or check raise. And I think I'm going to go with overbet. I've not that it matters, but I would have some full houses in range here. I would have some Jack X. I would have flushes. If he wants to hero us with 10x, or if he's like slow played a Jack or something, good for him. We do in the pot. Here we've been 3-bet by a very recreational player with Jack 10 off. Jack 10 suited, sorry. Pretty comfortable call. And I guess versus this player type, we just end up putting all the money in at some point. If he requests it. Not raising this board. Not folding, obviously. What size on the river to bet? I'm just going to block. Try and get caught by ace highs, pocket tens, pocket nines. Get raised. This is going to be like way under bluff by population. This player could be raising a jack for value. So we chop. We do beat bluffs. Going to lose a lot, but versus this player type, we're just going to call. Oh, nice answer. Nice answer. That one makes sense. We were in rough shape there. All the way through. I'm going to do about 10 more minutes. I'm going to make a cup of tea and watch some Triton. This video is going out the day after the US election. I'm recording it on November the 5th, the day of the election. It's going to go out on November the 6th. I suspect I'm going to spend the night disappointed. I've been watching a lot of the coverage of the US election overnight. I'm not a big fan of Kamala Harris. I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden or a lot of the Democrats in general. But I'm really not a fan of Donald Trump. I think he's a truly hideous human being. And there's going to be comedy either way. I mean, if he loses, he'll start crying about how it's fucking rigged again and this, that, and the other. It won't be his fucking fault. And if he wins, then we just get to watch him lying to the entire world for 5 fucking years and generally being a horrible, horrible bastard. Yeah, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of viewers of this channel who like pro-Trump. And if you are, I'm sure you've got your reasons. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm only disappointed that there have been some people in the US who are not particularly accurate when firing weapons. Oh fuck! That shouldn't have been a fold either. I was too busy thinking about how to word my disappointment at Trump only getting shot in the ear. So for being such a horrible person and thinking that, I deserve to make a bad fold and get punished for it. And frankly, I'm getting a bit bored now. I don't think I have much more than 45-minute sessions in me on this site. Maybe I shouldn't even be making videos here. I probably now. I used to play like when I was making videos, and I wouldn't say which site it was. None of my friends play there now. Well, Ryan still does, but he doesn't play very often, and he doesn't play 20NL anymore. I should probably just make some Bet365 videos. I'd enjoy that a lot more. Games are a lot softer, and more in tune with what's going on. I'd be less bored. In fact, yes, maybe next week we'll actually do some Bet365 videos. The rake is fucking egregious in the extreme. But I'll tell you what you don't have. You don't have a bunch of 14/5s and 18V pips and what have you. Yeah, this will be the last GG video. I think we'll take our money off GG. Probably after this session, we might have around $200. And we'll just stick €200 onto Bet365 and make some authentic videos from there. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So, bored of this now. So, global sit out next blind. And then we'll call it a day. With a good shot here, we'll call. This guy's limped and they just bet half pot. With a good shot, we want to see one more. If he bets again, probably just folding. Just not paying this type of player off. Belarus, 14/5, wants to start betting. Good for you, pal. Not saying he's never bluffing there, but he's very, very likely to be way under bluffing. And fuck Belarus. Just fuck Belarus, basically. That's going to be about it, isn't it? Wrap the video up. This table should be finished by then. Not going to do the tally. I think we've won a little bit of money. Not a lot, because we've got like 100 big blinds down here. I don't think we've lost 100 big blinds at these tables where we've got dead stacks. Yeah, hope you enjoyed my little rants. Hope you enjoyed the content, and really actually looking forward to spreading some softer game content around next week that isn't just shilling the app that I'm involved with. So yeah, I think we'll be out of here now. Take care and bye bye for now.